For years I've looked for ways to quiet my drums in specific situations like rehearsals or private lessons. A few years ago I purchased a set of Zildjian L80 low-volume cymbals, and I love those cymbals, but I was immediately in search for a product that could reduce the volume of my drums in a similar manner. The first product we're going to check out is the Aquarian Super Pads. These pads probably remind you of the traditional drum mutes or silencers you've seen for decades that feel a lot like a mouse pad. These super pads are much more realistic in feel and allow enough tone of each drum to come through to create a more enjoyable experience. One thing I really enjoy about the super pads is how easy they are to install. As you can see in this clip, it only took about 20 seconds to install all of the pads. The pads feature a rubber gasket around the edge for getting a nice snug fit on each drum, and the bass drum is profiled to cover about half of the drum and includes 2 easy clips for grabbing onto the wood hoops. The Remo Silentstroke heads are a mesh drum head that you use to replace your existing batter heads. They remind me of the heads you see on higher-end electronic kits. These mesh heads are great for replicating the feel of your drum set by not affecting the height of your playing surface and allowing you to continue using the rim of your drum for cross sticks and rim shots. The one pitfall to these is the setup time. Coming in at just under 12 minutes to swap out the heads for the entire kit, it's not the most practical for quick switches between your regular drum kit and your low volume alternative. I've recorded some brief examples of both setups along with my standard drum setup. All of the recordings were done with a single Shure KSM32 over the drums and a Shure Beta 52 on the kick. After the demos, I'll give you a couple of my thoughts on each of these and what I like and dislike about each product. As you heard, both products are a great match with the low-volume cymbals, and each has their own distinct characteristics. If I had to choose one based on tone, I'd roll with the Silentstroke heads. They sing a little more like traditional drums and don't decay as quick as the Super Pads. With that being said, when I tried the Silentstroke heads on my single-headed Pearl Rhythm Traveler, they were too silent. The resonant head is really helping to carry the load of the volume in this aspect. When it comes to feel, I prefer the Super Pads. As you may have guessed, the mesh heads oftentimes feel too bouncy and give a lot of rebound back. I actually enjoyed that with students because it allows them to simulate rebound even when they're not getting it on their own. I think this helps them know what they are searching for when they go back to their real drums at home. In addition, I like the Silentstrokes because you can also still use the rim for cross sticks and rim shots. I've actually developed a way to do the same with my Super Pads. I took an extra snare hoop and added that on top to my existing snare hoop to get a little extra height from the hoops. This allows the hoop to come up over the Super Pad so I can still do the cross sticks and rim shots. I'd love to see Aquarian update the Super Pad with the small rim along the outside of the pad, similar to Remo's brush-up pad that I also own. When it comes to flexibility and setup, I prefer the Super Pads as well. It's just a lot easier for me at home when I'm changing back and forth from the standard drums to the quiet drums to be able to swap out the product quickly. I don't have time to constantly be changing heads for an entire kit, but when I taught at a music school, I actually did use the Silentstrokes. I was always going to be using low volume in my teaching space, so it was just more practical. And now for the last and most important factor, price. The Silentstrokes range from around $12 to $40 per head based on the size, and even offer a pack for your entire kit for $90. The Super Pads start at around $45 and go up to around $75 for the larger kick pads. So all in all, for a 5-piece kit, you're looking at nearly $250 or more. For me, using these as a teacher and a professional, it has paid off, but I can understand why many people would resist to purchase the Super Pads. I've also had a few issues with my pads over the years where the rubber gaskets start to peel off from the pad, and I even had to adjust my kick pad to fit around specific bass drum claws that protruded too far in over the hoop. With all of those factors in mind, I think the choice is really dependent on your situation. If you plan to dedicate a kit to this volume, I'd recommend the Silentstrokes, as they are much more affordable and a somewhat good solution to a permanent setup. But if you require the ability to change setups on the fly, the Super Pads may be the best option for you if you can budget it. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you enjoy this content, I'd encourage you to check out some of the other videos on my channel, and it'd really mean a lot to me if you would consider subscribing and liking this video. Thanks.